we had what we call the playoffs at F45. The F45 playoffs are quite important because this is where, you get to prove why you are an F45 coach. The first 5 exercises are usually the okay part of the playoff, but when you reach the 5th exercise, this is when things start to get dark. I remember I was going hard on that exercise because I was like, let's do this, I'm gonna get ready, I'm gonna crush the playoffs next week, I gotta go hard, I gotta practice hard today. I felt a twitch in my lower back as I was doing as I was jumping on that box. I was like, oh, what the fuck is that? I hurt myself during that exact day. On December 2nd, 2023, if I'm not wrong, it was one of the most challenging days of my life as a coach. Going deeper into the whole definition of what a coach is, the definition that many people use to, describe what a coach is. It's someone who is an ambassador of pushing yourself to the limits. It's someone who is a motivator, someone who does not give up. It's someone who goes hard in the department of working out and stuff like that. And so I've been a coach now, both group class as well as in person, one-on-one coach for around, I think this is gonna be my 6th year. Whenever there are challenges, whenever there are certain types of things, competitions, tests and things like that, people usually always expect you to show off and to really crush it, which is something that I did not do last year, December 2nd, 2023. We had what we call the playoffs at F45 training Shawai. For those of you who are familiar with what the playoffs are, and for those of you who are familiar, firstly, with F45 training and who are a member of the worldwide network and the worldwide community, you might already have an idea of what the playoffs are, what is the purpose, what is the goal, what it entails, what you're supposed to do during the playoffs. For those of you who never heard of anything, what does F45 training stand for? F45 means functional 45, and the specialty that we have is actually creating functional training exercises and functional training classes that combines HIIT, that combines cardio, that combines weightlifting, that combines all kinds of exercises that are made to empower you in your daily life, that are made to empower you in your sports. And 45 stands for 45 minutes. So that means that whenever you come to our classes, we put everything together for you to train, to do, and to pretty much go through. And you in, you out. 45 minutes, that's all. F45 training is like the McDonald's of fitness, if I can say so, because you can find many of them all around the world. And we have, I believe, around a dozen of F45 here in China. We currently have 3 here in Beijing, China. We have a couple of studios in Shanghai. We have a couple of studios in Shenzhen, Guangzhou, and I think that's all. There might be other studios as well in other spots, but that's all that I can think of. And so the F45 network is basically geared around team training. The slogan of the brand is basically team training, life changing. We really go hard on creating a community atmosphere. We want to bring people together. We don't have any mirrors in the gym. Firstly, F45 is what we call a boutique gym, which means you come, there's a different setup each day. There's different exercises that you do each day. There's different equipments that you do each day. And the coaches, me including, I'm an F45 trainer, are going to run you through the class and ensure that you have fun, ensure that you stay safe, ensure that you can go through the class without much struggle and that you make the best out of it. Okay, so we at F45 have different products, if I can say so. One of the main products that we have, and also one of the main program, let me just call it a program, is the F45 challenge. It's a 45 days weight loss challenge during which all the members take part. I mean, the members who choose to take part, they can take part to the challenge, and then us, the coaching staff, we help them and we pretty much mentor them to reach their goals. And the members who achieve a very interesting as well as big transformation earns a prize. Okay, very good challenge. It's really a great program for anyone willing and also looking to establish a set of strong habits in a short period of time and hopefully being able to give those habits long term. The second product that we have, and that literally every studios around the world have, that's actually what's cool about F45, is that if you do something in a studio somewhere, you need to know that all the other studios around the world are also doing the same thing too, which is pretty cool. Okay, so the second product is the F45 playoff. I'm getting goosebumps just by pronouncing that word. So the F45 playoff, guys, is it's playoffs, right? I think we pretty much already know what playoffs consist of, but in the case of F45, it's a workout, okay? It's a circuit of exercises put together that are made to test your fitness, okay? So you basically do this playoff, you do this session, and there's a total of 10 different exercises, okay? These exercises have been well selected to test your endurance, your power, your performance, your cardio, your strength, your overall strength, to test you over 10 exercises. And then by the end of the circuit of 10 exercises, there's going to be a certain score that we calculate based on how many repetitions and what was your performance on each exercise. Okay, so kind of a big deal. They actually even organize worldwide playoffs in the F45 community, where I think the best scores of F45 playoffs from each studios in the world meet all together in one spot, and they have some sort of international playoff, worldwide playoff, where the winner of the playoff, that event, the higher score, become the champion of F45 playoffs in the world, which is great, which is crazy. Okay, so that's what the playoffs consist of. It's pretty much an occasion for members and for anyone else to come to pretty much see what they're made of, okay? And the playoffs become an even important, it's kind of a big deal for us coaches, because again, we as coaches are at the front line whenever it comes to F45 classes, because we are pretty much the ones who are in the studio, who interact with the members and who help them. So again, as I said earlier at the beginning of the podcast, we coaches have a responsibility as well as a privilege to empower people and to have a motivating, educating, inspiring, and positive image that we need to give to people. We are role models. And so in that sense, the F45 playoffs are quite important, because this is where, you get to prove why you are an F45 coach. Okay, so in addition to that, there's actually a score that is specifically set for F45 coaches. Like, ideally, before joining F45 or after joining F45 as a coach, you need to be able to attain a certain score during the playoffs. So it's quite an important event. The F45 playoffs, I've been with F45 as a coach now for around 4 years, I think, and I've done the playoffs 4 times. And I've always hated it every time, but this time around, last year, guys, it was the worst. Okay, I'm gonna get into the story now. And so here we go. We know that the F45 playoffs are gonna happen like 1 month from now. It was, I think, November, and they have announced it. Okay, guys, we are going to host the F45 playoffs. Members, coaches, everybody is invited to take part. Blah 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 blah. The playoffs might always be the only time where I would wish to just be a member. Because when you're a member, you don't really have that pressure to succeed. Like, there's not a certain metric or a certain standard that you need to reach. But as a coach, it becomes very important, because there's a score that you need to reach, okay? So, like, if you don't reach the score, you're not going to... There's actually a box that you don't check, basically, as for being a proper qualified F45 trainer. And then there's also the whole thing of, being a role model. Like, if you want to be that coach, helping people, pushing people to push themselves, you need to kind of show that you're able to push yourself too, okay? And so, firstly, just for clarity, that score is 500. And 500 points. And it's being calculated with a special formula, okay? Because there's different exercises. Again, as I said, a total of 10 exercises during the F45 playoffs. And each exercise, of course, there's a certain number of repetitions that you need to do. And based on the repetitions that you make, there's a formula, there's a certain multiplier that we use for each exercise, a different multiplier to get a score out of it. Okay, so what are the different exercises that they have and that they line up during the F45 playoff session? The first exercise is a rowing machine. The second exercise is bench hops. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'm gonna put it somewhere here. Okay. For those of you listening to me on the red circle, you're gonna have to look this exercise up on the internet. Sorry, or catch up with me on YouTube. Okay. So first exercise, rowing machine. Second exercise, bench hops. Third exercise, push-ups, knee tuck with TRX. Third exercise, lateral cone hops. Fifth exercise, I hate this one, such a motherfucker. Burpees to box jump. So the first 5 exercises are usually the okay part of the playoff, but when you reach the 5th exercise, this is when things start to get dark. I'll tell you why. 6th exercise, pull-ups. 7th exercise, squat to press. 8th exercise, Russian twists. 9th exercise, dead ball overhead throw. 7th exercise, hurdle jumps back to back. And the thing is, you don't just pick up a weight that you want and that you feel comfortable with. There are certain weights on some of the exercises that have already been selected there. Okay, the weight of male athletes are already set, and the weight of female athletes are already set. Female lift slightly lighter than male on literally everything, but apart from that, everything is the same. So that's the exercises, and we do each exercise for 45 seconds. 45 seconds of work. We go, we work. We do our best to reach a high score and to make as many repetitions as possible. And then we rest for 15 seconds, which, I'll be real, it's 15 seconds of rest is a scam. They really don't make things easy at all. So you rest for 15 seconds. That's literally enough time for you to catch 1-2 breaths and to move to the next exercise to go right away. So there's no rest. It's a test, right? So it's really testing your endurance and your stamina. 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. Boom, 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 boom. 1 exercise, 2 exercise, bam, 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 bam. And you're done after 10 minutes. But trust me so much. These are the worst 10 minutes of your life. If you do them properly, okay? If you, during the event, we had members who never did the playoffs before, who just wanted to test the water. And that was okay. I mean, they got a good kick in their asses, but, they did not really have any reasons to go hard anyway. So that was okay for them. They did not really feel the pain. But when you do the F45 playoff and you do it with your heart and with the actual aim to crush your score, after the 10th exercise where you jump those hurdles and you run back and forth, you just feel that kind of taste of blood down your throat. You drop yourself on the floor. You really feel like you are about to faint. I'm gonna keep telling my stories. You guys will see. You guys will understand better. So, before the F45 playoff day, okay, it's actually a big event, okay? So it's a big event. It's gonna last 1 day, and we're gonna call all the members of all the other studios from the other F45s in Beijing, and we're gonna get them all together in one studio with all the coaches to really just go through the event. It's a really fun day, full of energy. You see how everybody comes and they're all ready to to crush it and to go hard, not knowing what they signed up for. And the month or the 2 months leading up to the event, we had workouts. Okay, so initially, okay, if you are an F45 members and if you regularly go to the classes, then the fact of going to the classes regularly should already be a good preparation for you for the actual playoffs. But of course, doing a different class and then going for the playoffs is not really going to be the same. If you actually want to get better, at the playoffs, then you need to do some form of playoffs as a preparation, right? That's what makes the most sense. And so every Friday we got together with some of the members every Friday evening to just go through a mock playoff. Okay, like every Friday evening we would do a certain we'd have practice sessions where we would kind of repeat a part of the workout just for us to get better, And I did join these workouts because I just did not want to fuck up. Because again, listen, I'm a coach. I'm out there pushing people, telling them to go hard. So I really did not want to have that moment where, hey, I was not able to push myself, and so I was not able to actually live up to the standards that I set for people. I feel like that's just not okay at all. So I prepared for the playoffs, and then on the day of the play, wait, this is where it started. So the playoffs were what the hell am I saying? The playoffs were. I'm sorry. Remember, guys, I'm French. You're gonna hear and you're gonna pick up some bits of French accent in how I speak, but deal with it. Okay, deal with it. So the week before the actual day of the playoffs, we had one workout session, and that week, actually, on that day, I was actually being really reckless, to be honest. I had a workout in the morning. I had a leg workout. I crushed it. I went hard, and then I'm not the type to train 2 times a day anymore. But on that day, I kind of felt like, you know what? Let's go for the playoff class, the playoff practice in the same evening. It's not going to hurt me to work out 2 times just for today. And so I went for my leg workout in the morning. I went for the playoff practice in the evening. I felt good. But that's how I felt in my mind. My body did not feel the same way. So we did the practice. So we went through the circuit. We literally redid a playoff type of workout. Okay. And we pretty much just went through all the exercises one by one. At one moment, right before we finish, the last exercise that I was doing was the burpees to box jumps. And I remember I was going hard on that exercise because I was like, let's do this. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to crush the playoffs next week. I got to go hard. I got to practice hard today. I felt a twitch in my lower back as I was doing as I was jumping on that box. I was like, oh, what the fuck is that? But when you train, you feel like that pain is coming. You felt that crack already. You feel like your body told you, hey, you motherfucking asshole, calm the fuck down. Like your body already hurt. Your body already sends you signals. But you, because you think you're Superman, because you also have all of that endorphin and adrenaline rushing, you don't really listen to the signals. So you keep going. Then you finish the workout. We get to stretching. I tried to stand. I went on the floor. We had some stretches with our bodies on the ground. I stood up from there. I felt some sort of fire, a spark in my back. I was like, oh shit, I hurt myself.